So let's start first with the theory. We have a difference between IP strategy and IP valuation that needs to be cleared up. So in a nutshell, an IP strategy is used to create value for the business through IPR, while IP valuation, on the other hand, measures the value of the implementation of the strategy at a certain point in time. Slightly more in detail, the IP strategy will, based on a business model and the related desired economic effects, optimize the return of innovation, also the appropriation of innovation rents, if you like, by deciding for a given appropriation regime, which impacts you want to make through which IPR functions. This is looking at the future to define a strategic gap between where we are and where we want to be positioned in the future through IP. Then IP valuation is related to confirming whether there is an actual value created by the business IPR in the existing business model and situation, whether it's linked to exclusive resources, and whether and how much it is relevant for the competitive positioning. That can be outside in. So if there's an external effect, it aims to determine the role and effect the IP plays in generating the effects. Or inside out, if there is no outside effects, it aims to determine what we could do with the IP to create what kind of effects this might have from the inside out through function, impact, and appropriation. When we go to the analysis.
So taking into account what Sven just explained in terms of IP strategy and IP evaluation, we should remember that a patent, like any IP right, has a function, for example, protection function or blocking function, and that leads to a barrier effect. The barrier effect will be influenced by legal factors or technical factors. Given the case that the case that was given to us, for example, one legal factor is the coverage of the patent that was expanded to different EU countries. And a technical factor also to have into account is the coherence of the portfolio that covers both machine aspects and also processes. And this creates a market impact. That impact, for example, means that you have a technological lead, and this allows for an appropriation of economic benefits. In this case, a unique selling proposition that causes differentiation and a premium price. And this is an economic factor. Such price generates cash flows that will determine finally the patent value. Now to Urvashi and Eugene.
So in the case of Fortress monopoly, we will start with first the function of the IP right with a patent, where their function is to protect and the protect of their product during 20 years against the competitor to copying. And they will, during this time, they will be able to improve their image, their reputation, and making some promotion about their products. And the impact of this function of the IP right will be that they will have a technological lead, so they will gain and maintain their position of the product in the area. And after it will be the appropriation, I will let you speak about.
The next step in IP strategy for Fortress monopoly is appropriation. How is this implemented? By sale of the pharmaceutical invention. Again, there could be licensing opportunities as well to make use of the IP. What economic effect is generated? It's high product differentiation, which commands a premium price of the invention. And it creates barriers to entry for generic players. With that, I give the next slide to Marcus.
Yes, so last time we have seen the case of the individualized functional yogurt as an example of a value-added monopoly, where the P function is mainly to protect new features of an existing product that deliver to the customer particular benefit. And this new innovation so can be seen separately from the product, and so can be set some new buying incentives for the customer, and exclusivity can then be gained around these innovative features. So mainly then the function are so protection, reputation, and identification that have an impact on the technology lead, because we mentioned that it is individualized functional yogurt was a completely new product in the market, new for the food producers. So IP is needed to prevent competitor from developing an equivalent solution. It has also an impact on a unique selling proposition, being a completely new product where the food is tailored to the individual fitness and training program of the customers. So also here the IP is used to keep competitors from developing the same benefit. Can also be developed like a brand loyalty around this new product, so that we have a group of customers that are really like excited about the product, and then are willing to buy also other products under the same brand, and also an impact on the dominant on the design of the product, and so help then to have an exclusivity.
Then I will explain the value-added monopoly from the direction of implementation. First, from the functions. The value-added monopoly is targeting to add the value to their product. These would stop the access from other imitator to their customers. Then to the impacts, this would cause the impacts that the fidelity of the customers for this certain product will be accumulated and will get larger and larger. Then for its appropriations, the number of the customers will grow. Then the economic effects will be bring that the sales number, the sales payment will get larger. So the income and investment for this certain product to the company would get benefit from this increasing number of the fidelity of the customers. So this is the value-added monopoly. Then next slide, please.
Yes, and the next example, it's about describing IP-based value generation in a hub monopoly phase. And we used as an example telecommunication standards. And using inside-outside analysis, we'll start with the function. The very purpose with patents is to protect communication technology that must be used in standard, or that is part of the standard. And working in standardization bodies to have acceptance for your solution, that it's a good one and it can be part of the standard, and as such it will be very valuable to have a patent for it, because the impact is that once the technology is part of the standard, devices must use that technology in order to be able to operate with other devices in this complex system that the telecommunication system is. Yes.
And the returns are appropriated by owning and licensing standard essential patents. Companies that own standard essential patents can generate value by licensing them to the competitors, and in terms of interoperability, and also owning essential patents allows the company to control the market. Cross-licensing agreements can be made to expand the effects of the IP portfolio and prevent the licensing fee. The economic effects generated are licensing incomes, direct incomes from licensing, and also license fees that will not be paid due to cross-licensing.
And the next slide, last but not least, is monopoly in a box with an example of Shimano, a gear shift producer. Shimano is producing complementary product, for example, for bicycles, and these complementary products are very well known. The process is well known, and they are even an important part of the final product bicycle, for example. So in terms of quality, in terms of functionality, the user benefits a high quality product, so the customer needs can be connected to this kind of product. Concerning the functions, we will also start with the functions. It's a comprehensive protection, so it's not only patents but also trademarks and processes, and the overall protection of the product and the environment of the product itself, and to bring it in connection with a high quality and concerning the impact that leads to a technological lead that is connected with a name, name Shimano, with a company, and later on also with the final product, the bicycle, for example. That brings us to the appropriation. Teru?
Yep. Following the definition of the impact, I am moving to the topic of appropriation. In Shimano Company's case, by the impact of the technology lead, higher sales of their gear shift are appropriated, and more granting a license to other bicycle manufacturer that manufacture same type of the bicycle are also appropriated. In the result, premium price from product sales or also direct cash flow obtained from the license fee is generated, which is corresponding economic effect. Then that brings us to the end of our group presentation. Thank you very much.